This is our market, so this is our final frontier, and maybe we would like to think is the final frontier that hasn't gone commercial. So it's all about food for me personally. For other people, it's about books and art and all kinds of different things. The reason why we're here, but also it's. I guess it's just a casual way to spend a Saturday as well. So we come here to meet our friends, we come here to socialize. As you can see, there's kids, there's dogs, there's people everywhere. But also, one of the most important things that I want people to know is that the market is not broken. The system is not broken. It's thriving, in fact. And this is what you can see by standing here and by walking through this market in Skibbereen today, is that it's alive and well. People that are standing here day in and day out every Saturday of the year are people that are international awards winners, and everything from their chocolates to their cheeses to their artists. You know, their art is out there, and they're around the world, and they're known globally, some of these people, and their products. So we have a lot of people that get their start here. We have people studying with mobile catering that have restaurants in town, and they come out to the people. One of the important things, you'll probably hear a theme from a lot of these people, in that they get to talk to their customers directly. They get direct feedback. How was that cake? Or what did you think of that cheese? And what can I do better? Or what can I do differently? So we love that. We love the feedback. So I'm known as for vinegar. So I produce apple cider vinegar just up the road up on Mount Kidd in West Cork, and I'm a fermentation specialist. So I teach fermented foods as well and how to make them. And my thing is I produce a little bit of vinegar, but I want to teach other people how to produce their own things.
I grow all these myself, and they're all organic, fresh, picked yesterday, and that's what I do. It's very important because it's my livelihood, or part of my livelihood. I sell to restaurants also, but this is my main income. And also it's a great social outlet. You know, I meet lots of my friends. And
I'm going to give you this here with a note.
Oh, thank you, Carmel.
You gave me what somebody else's bill.
All right, thanks very much. I'm here for 8 o'clock in the morning to set up, and well, today, for instance, it's not very good. There's not very many people around, and there's also not many stall holders. But in the summer, yes, the car park is full with stall holders. Some Saturdays there's about 140 stalls. Yeah, and it's very, very busy. It's very busy. It's an institution, really. It's like a meeting place. People can sit and have coffee and talk and buy most of their fresh vegetables and meats and all the other products.
I've lived in Skibbereen since 1989, and I think the market is one of the most important cultural facets of Skibbereen since I've lived here. It's become a thriving community, and if you look around here today, you can actually see that it's actually a ground-up movement of people, and it creates, for the cultural good of Skibbereen, is one of the most, as I said, one of the most important things that's happened. I actually happened, coincidentally, to be looking in the archives yesterday, and I found a piece from the Times of 1770 which was granting market rights to Skibbereen for 2 markets a week from 1770. So there has been a long continuous market in Skibbereen. Obviously the regulations have changed and there are different regulations in place now, but I think it's very important, not just for Skibbereen but for the whole country, that markets, they're part of the culture. And I think I go to France quite regularly. The first thing you look for in France is where is the market. You go to Bordeaux, there's been a market for 1,000 years and people go there and use it. This market started very small. I started coming here from day one and it's part of my life now. And you can just see over the years how it has grown and how important it has become. It's become a focal point. The old farmers who are my neighbours, instead of the mart, they come in here, have a chat, people have a coffee, and so it is just integral to the town.
Well, I grew up in the family business. I'm the fifth generation on the farm. Cheese has been made since I was 3 years old, and the market. When I first started my own side of the business with that, which was making the cured meats, we started up. Helped as probably one of the people to come here and get the Skibbereen market going again. And Skibbereen market has been probably one of my favourite markets of all the ones we attend, and largely that's from both the customers and the fellow stallholders. There's the placement, the day of the week, but the absolute unique element of this market is something quite special. The variety, the choice, but I suppose it's more the people and the character and the feel you have here. I think that really you can do your entire week's shop here. There is everything from the best value to actually the most original and on the same side of things, you get food from people. The fish comes straight from a day boat. The veg are from people growing it themselves, or sourcing in organic, or rearing or growing their own meats, or in our case, the salamis and the cheeses. So I think there's a great variety of things to eat, things to buy, but also the social aspect of this market is something special. I suppose Skibbereen as a business entity itself, I mean, I started off with just farmers markets. It helped me with product development. It helped me put money in the ass pocket and sort of help it grow naturally. We also have distributors and we sell direct to a lot of people around the country. But the farmers market is still one of the most important parts for us because it's direct feedback. It's that element of getting to know people and getting the results, but the emotional thing as well. If you make something, you know you're doing it right. And for my staff who help me at the market as well, they also get to hear from people about the food they're making. Now, to answer your question about all the markets in the country, every market I've been to in Ireland is different. You have markets, I mean, the ones we attend are Bantry, Skibbereen, Skull and Mahon Point. Yeah. So we can do 4 markets a week. You could do a market every day of the week if it was a business to do that. But I think that each market being different is something actually quite important for this country. I think that having characters, you don't want the routine and the mundane element of things. You want to have a little bit of excitement. You want to have to look with your eyes at the things that are different and the seasonal products and elements like that are very important to farmers markets. I mean, they are farmers markets. You know, there has to be farmers present at farmers markets. There has to be originality. There has to be wonderful street food that's kind of makes the mouth sing. You know, that's what makes them very important. One thing you'll find about the Irish in many kind of ways is that they can be wonderfully kind and generous and things like that. They're also quite original sometimes. I find that if you look in a shopping basket, it's a staple, and then something they've never had before. So there's a curiosity. But if they don't like something, they might not tell you. Yeah. You know, I think that the wonderful truth nearly always comes from a child. Yeah. A child will reach over, try something. He'll either spit it out or he'll drag his parents to get it again. And I mean, some of our bestsellers and main things have actually come from parents or being brought back to fill school lunches or do things like that. The truth of a child is quite important. But over time, as you get to know customers better, you get wonderful feedback. And I think that, I suppose, my world of charcuterie and the curing of meats, it's an international thing. So there's lots of French, there's Germans, there's Spanish, there's people from all over the world, and they bring their culture with them. So I may have an obsession with trying to make something that I've never made before based on what I've learned from the internet or books. Yeah. But meeting somebody who comes from that country and knows that product, who can actually put you on the right line or connect you back, you know, those kind of things. There's people who have literally given me handwritten recipes for sausage from their great-grandmother's recipe that we've gone on to make, and that's brought us closer to our customer, but also increased our own knowledge base.
The markets around West Cork are very vibrant, and it's because people are aware that they have a right to trade, and it's supported by the public. And the Casual Trading Act hasn't taken into account European directives that dictate certain ways that trading can happen. And it relates directly to markets. So any bylaws that emanate from the Casual Trading Act are going to be flawed because this EU directive that was being brought in and signed into law isn't really recognised by the Casual Trading Act. So it's actually the Casual Trading Act is flawed. So unfortunately, the only people who can actually seem to be able to bring that to the attention of the councils that are enacting bylaws and all this, it's down to us, it appears, because nobody else seems to be paying that much attention. But we'll make sure people do pay attention to it. Any member of the public who has any idea that perhaps they want to change direction in life and they want to try a new food product or try new ideas or just sell stuff that they might have at home, like, people have the right, and it's written into the charters of nearly every town in Ireland, and I have copies of the ones from Clonakilty and various things where the right is enshrined. It's never been extinguished, and it can't be extinguished unless it's replaced by something as good or better. So everyone has the right to trade. Plus it's a different business model, but it's a business nonetheless, and the business model is a lot more to do with community, fair trade, all the kind of things that I think are missing from a kind of a consumer shopping type experience that people are used to, or, you know, things like, you know, high street chains and supermarkets and all that. It's a different experience, so, and it's a right that we have, and we are not going to let that right slip slightly or go completely. It's going to remain, and there's an awful lot of people who are politicised around West Cork, particularly about that issue. I suppose you could call it activism, but if it's a right that it exists, I suppose we're protecting our rights. I think when people think of activism, they think more of a militant type bent, but there's going to be no windows smashed or anything. It's a lovely little battle we'll have, and, you know, it's going to be through words and deeds, you know, laws and stuff like that. So we just have to work together to get this through. So.